and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big.
You're tuned in to Faith City Outreach with Martina Maria, the founder of Global Gospel Worship Radio. Maria interviews local Christian pastors, authors, musicians, and global leaders, sharing their testimonies and the servant work being done for the Lord. In Matthew 6:33, Jesus reminds us to seek first God's kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. We hope this program will encourage you to do just that. Now here's your host, Martina Maria.
Welcome to Faith City Outreach. This is Martina Maria with today's special guest, Amanda Hagel, an inspirational country music artist. Amanda has established herself as an artist, and her mission is to create music that uplifts, empowers, and inspires her listeners. Amanda has gained both national and international recognition as a talented performer and songwriter. She was raised in a faith-based home, and the growth she has experienced on her own personal journey have led her on a path of expression grounded in deep faith and authenticity, integrity, truth, and love. This heart-centered expression is shared through her music and the messages it conveys. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being on Faith City Outreach today to share your spiritual journey as a national and international inspirational country music artist, and to share the story behind your new release song, Call on Me.
Thank you so much for the invite to come. It's such a pleasure to be here. Hello to all your listeners. I'm thrilled. Can't wait for the convo today.
Yes, Amanda, congratulations that today is the day that your new song, Call on Me, is released. I am sure that you feel so excited. I can tell by just your smile from ear to ear, which I
Very
don't blame
excited.
you.
Oh, yeah, no, it's always exciting. It's like Christmas for an artist. That's how I look at it.
Before we talk about your anointed song, Call on Me, please share your Jesus story to our listeners.
Well, I really appreciated getting the heads up on some of the questions that we were going to discuss today, and I was going to answer. And this one particularly, it gave me time to reflect on my own journey. So one of the things that came to mind about my Jesus story was I had actually written a song back in 2016 called Listen with Your Heart. And it was the title track of my Christmas album, which is a very spiritual album. It actually won Gospel Album of the Year in my home province of Saskatchewan that year. So it's a very special record. And the song itself, I know when I wrote it, I remember moments where I called Jesus in to be a mentor and a guide for the song. The song is all about the journey of Mary and Joseph and their call to become parents of Jesus. So it's a beautiful, beautiful song with a beautiful message. And the one thing about that song in the bridge that I talk about is one of the things that I felt so strongly about Jesus's message and the teachings that he came here to teach us was, and I'll paraphrase from the song, he said, "You can do all that I have and more." And I wanted to really reflect that in the song, and I did. And it has such a profound impact. Even to this day, it gets played at Christmas every year across homes all over the place. And I'm so proud of it. And I'm just so grateful to have had that experience with him. And the song, is beautiful and it's timeless. It's a timeless song now.
I love the fact that you asked Jesus to be the mentor. I mean, you cannot go wrong by asking him to be the mentor of your life and everything that you do.
Absolutely, 100%.
So many people want to know the story behind your new song, which was released today. The title is Call on Me. Please share.
Wow. I've had a couple interviews already, and it's just so hard for me to put into words how special and how meaningful this song is. I'll do my best and I'll paraphrase as best I can here for the show. So when I began to write it, it was last summer. And I had been struggling a little bit with not knowing the direction I was going to go with my next release, what I was going to write about as an artist. You get so many songs under your belt, you get to a point where you start to question what direction really is necessary. And so I just completely surrendered in a prayer and meditation kind of moment and just asked for guidance. And it was a couple days later that in a physical way, hard to describe, the song came through. The chorus and the melody came through, and I'll just recite it quickly because it was an instant moment, and I had to scramble for a pen and paper just to capture it. And so the words are, It's your will that it's your faith, sorry, that makes you stronger. It's your will that turns the tide. When you feel like hope is lost, it's your heart that guides your life. Off your knees, it's time to rise. Call on me, child of mine. And so those words literally came through. And it was just the most profound moment in my writing career that I've experienced. It would be shortly after that I would decide to put the verses together in a poem that I had written only a few months before. And I always wondered why I wrote the poem. It was called The Glow. And it was just this beautiful image of someone on a dark path, struggling, crying out for help. I didn't really recognize it in my own life specifically. It was just something that came through, but I decided to put it in the song, and it fit perfectly with the message. And it's just a message of hope and faith and understanding that in our darkest moments, we are not alone and God is near. And we have the power through him within us to overcome any obstacle. And so I'm just so privileged. I feel so blessed and privileged to have brought this song into the world. I coin it God's message to the world because really that is what it is.
Yes. What has been the reaction so far? I know it was
Well,
just released
yeah,
today, but like from
yeah.
your friends and your family.
Yeah, they're pretty blown away. I think it's one of those songs I encouraged everybody to take a quiet moment, make sure they're listening to it on a good speaker system or good headphones, because the production of this song is something in itself. It's an inspirational masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. The producer that produced it, I've worked with many songs before, but this is a special song that he did an outstanding job. He's a national award-winning producer, but I just feel like there's another level of musicianship here that I mean, this is what creative art is all about. I feel like music is just this beautiful, beautiful piece of art that we can bring into the world, and we need to take care and consideration. So I make sure the people I work with are the best, and it's shone through in this song. So everybody who's been messaging me and listening to it so far, they're just blown away. They just love it. So it's exciting.
That's great. I would have to agree, Amanda. I mean, when you listen to it, it just has so much heart. It's almost as if I can just see you singing it. And at moments, you were probably crying.
Actually, you're right. The morning I wrote it, I went downstairs into my music space and I sing through a sound system when I practice. And I broke down more than once. I couldn't get through it. It was hitting me. I could feel it in the essence of my being, how special the song was, and the melody itself is just so beautiful. And I'm just so glad I was able to lend my gift of my voice into it. And yeah, it's thank you for that. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work.
Amanda, what is one new truth God has revealed to you recently during your relationship with Him?
That's a really beautiful question. I just love it. I think, through this experience of being an artist, the last decade specifically, I've gone on a very deep spiritual journey and, discovering parts of myself that maybe I hadn't accepted, parts of myself that I hadn't, that I was trying to hide from, I think. And a lot of us do, we try to avoid those hurts and those traumas. One of the things that God revealed to me was that, really at the end of the day, that's a part of me, but that's not the true me. And once I discovered the true essence of my being through this spiritual journey, and again, it's so unique to each one of us. It's now coming through in my writing. It's coming through in the essence of me, and I feel like that's the goal in being a human here is, to just be an expression of the divine, and to be able to cultivate that and grow through that through the guidance that we have internally, because I feel like everything that we need is within us, and that includes that spark of the divine. So just the journey to discover who I really am, the essence of me is what God has revealed. And it's an incredible, beautiful experience.
I like what you said when you said part of me, but not the true me. That is so
Yes.
true. I really like
is.
that.
Thank you.
How has this new truth deepened your trust and faith in the Lord?
Well, I think, at the end of the day, I don't see life as random. I don't see anything in life as random. Nothing is coincidence. It's all synchronistic. And so when I'm experiencing the ups and the downs of life, my faith has deepened, and my trust in God, and the faith that I've established, the deep rooted faith, tells me that there is going to be a reason for every single thing, and it will, even though seemingly be difficult at the time, there's going to be a beautiful gift in it, and it just makes life that much more. I don't know. There's a peace that comes from that, because no matter what you're faced with, I think we're brought to things for specific reasons. And that's a part of this life, this beautiful life that we get to have, this amazing adventure, right? So the ups and the downs, we just need to embrace it all. Embrace it all.
I know you have had many struggles in your life and your musical career. What advice would you give others who are going through spiritual struggles or battles in life?
Well, the biggest thing, the one thing that came to mind when I read this question earlier was, to tell people that you're not alone. I know that loneliness can be a big issue, especially in today's world. You can be around people and still feel completely lonely. So the idea that, you're not alone, just remember that, and just trust in the idea that at any moment you can always ask for help. You can always ask for that presence to be with you. And I think if people can just remember that, but you have to ask. Remember to ask.
Mhm.
That's the key to it all.
Exactly.
And then just be willing to be open to not only discovering the answers that come around you in the external world, but in the internal world. That's where the richness and the beauty, I think, of these deep rooted truths will come. And you just have to be willing to just trust that they will come, because they will. I'll tell you that for sure.
Mhm. What is something you want others to know about you that you have never shared before in an interview?
Wow. I read that question this morning and I thought, whoa, what am I going to talk about? I'm a pretty transparent person. I mean, I do live my faith, fully and openly. I have a vigor for life that I think is a reflection in the things that I share. One of the things I don't really talk about that much is, the struggle that I did have with mental health. I've alluded to it a little bit. I suffered in silence for a long time, and with just high levels of panic and anxiety. And it was through that experience, that struggle, really for years, that I became, I think, the person that you see today. I don't think I would have spiritually grown to the degree I have if I hadn't been brought into that fiery place. We call it that dark night, those dark moments. And I think people just need to recognize that, if you're struggling right now, I've been there. We've all been there. And it just gives me a sense of empathy and compassion for others, and knowing that we're all in this together. We're going to walk hand in hand through this life. And I think we all have gifts and things to share with each other that are going to help uplift us. That's a part of why I continue to strive forward and bring this music into the world. So I'm okay with people knowing that. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to talk about these things, but we're only human, and we're all doing our best.
Yes, and we all go through struggles.
Yeah, absolutely.
What helps you to remain true to your music despite the social pressure to fit in with certain or current trends and style in the music industry?
One of the things that I feel has grounded me, through the temptation of conforming, or maybe the allure of being more commercial in the world to be more popular, all of those things, right? One of the messages that comes through in a lot of my music, I'd like to think I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. When I reveal something, I live that expression. And one of the things that comes through in my music is, to follow and listen with your heart, to follow the promptings of the heart, because the heart is the compass. I believe it's that intuitive part of us is kind of a gift we've been given. It's a technology almost within us that allows us to be able to navigate life in the most beautiful way. And sometimes that means we go in directions that other people might not understand, but we have to remain true to that calling within, right? And it's a feeling. It's a visceral feeling. So I try to portray that in the music and the messaging that I bring through. And I think that's the anchor. That's the starting point for life. And if we just continue to follow that, we're going to be okay, and cultivate that, because it is a sense that we have to develop. So it's really important.
Yes, and remain faithful to the Lord.
Amen to that. Yes. And really through that, it is through that language of the heart, that I feel that's where that connection is. That's where it resides. That's where our communication with God is, really. That is it.
What is something the Lord has been touching your heart about lately during your prayer time?
Lately, well, just leading up to this release, I think the biggest thing that comes to mind is, just being willing to be able to stand in, the truths that are being revealed to me at this point, and being able to express those and not be afraid to just speak that into the world. And the song itself, the message of the song, was all about the idea that we have this power within us. And I know that can be a little triggering for people when they hear that. Well, what are you talking about, power?
Mm.
Well, we are children of God. We are the sparks of the divine, right? We have this essence of the divine within us. And I think that houses such power, because we have more control, and I think we have more opportunity, I think, to have a life that is almost co-creative in a sense, right? Because we are part of God. And so I'm discovering that on a daily basis. And I think for me, that's really standing in that, living that truth. It's difficult because we get a lot of resistance, I think, from different places. But I'm just so grateful to be on this journey and to be discovering these truths through, God's guidance and through my own internal heart, right? The compass of my heart.
Right. And for believers to know that that power is from Him, not from us. But he,
Right.
he gives that to us. He shares it with us because He loves us
Absolutely.
so much
Yes. Yes.
and always wants the best for us. And if we remain true to the calling that He's given us, then we will definitely be able to use it in the calling.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Use it as an expression
As an
in this
expression.
world, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Where can people find more information about you and hear your new release song? I know, number one, they can go to Global Gospel Worship Radio and
Yes.
listen to your song, because I already downloaded it and it is on. It's just playing, randomly every single day. But what other places can they find or listen to your song, Call on Me?
Well, I believe it's on all the major platforms. So,
Okay.
anywhere people can stream music, all the major ones, iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music. There's links, if you just search the my name and the song, it'll come up. My website's also a good place to go, just to kind of get links to everything. So simple, just www.amandahagel.com, and they can find all those links. It's a good place to start. As far as the social media, all of the links will be there, though. Yeah, so it's pretty easy to find. Yeah.
Okay. So that website is www.amandahagel.com.
Yep. Yep. You just type that in, it should come up in the search engine. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being here on Faith City Outreach to share about your
Oh,
musical journey, to share about your new song, this anointed song. And after the show or the program, I'm going to be playing this song. So, listeners, please stay tuned after your encouraging message, Amanda, which I would like for you to share. What words of encouragement would you say to others who are getting impatient towards their inner healing in their life from the Lord?
that's yeah. Okay. So if I can offer one piece of advice, I would say, well, maybe two things. I would say, as I mentioned before, you're not alone. I believe that there are divine forces that walk with us. God is always with us, but there are leagues of the divine presence that I think we're given, to walk on this planet, to guide us. And just understand that all you have to do, again, is ask. You just have to ask for help and just be willing to be open to that help. It's an incredible thing. And, you can be anywhere in the world in any moment and not feel that loneliness, feel connected and feel empowered. And I think that's just a really important thing to always remember, is that we are never, ever alone.
When the road, it seems so long, there's not much left to carry And through the tears, it starts to show. In darkness here, a distant glow. It's your faith that makes you stronger. It's your will that turns the tide. When you feel like hope is lost, it's your heart that guides your life. Off your knees, it's time to rise. Call on me, child of mine. Your message near, in whispers came. I felt your plea, held in a name. Remember, please, amidst the storm, there's no one else who loves you more. It's your faith that makes you stronger. It's your will that turns the tide. When you feel like hope is lost, it's your heart that guides your life. Off your knees, it's time to rise. Call on me, child of mine. On your way, the light draws near. The Savior sent would now appear. A silhouette began to form. In mirror's gaze, your face, the glow. It's your faith that makes you stronger. It's your will that turns the tide. When you feel like hope is lost, it's your heart that guides your life. Off your knees, it's time to rise. Call on me, child of mine. Call on me, child of
My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and
Thank you for listening to Global Gospel Worship Radio with Martina Maria, where all the nations praise the Lord with Christian international music and radio programs. We'd like to thank our major financial sponsors, Spectrum Insurance and Financial Group, for supporting our program, as well as our other media partners who make the broadcast of this show possible. If you'd like to donate to our radio ministry or to learn more about it, please go to globalgospelworshipradio.org. And finally, we hope you'll go with this blessing from Psalm 29:11. The Lord gives strength to his people. The Lord blesses his people with peace. Thanks for listening.